Good afternoon, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People. And I see my voice, I see the breath because it's so cold out here. But nevertheless, happy that you all are joining me. We're going to go through our pregame show live from Seattle, Washington. You see the stadiums right behind me. We are just a couple of hours, a little less than a couple of hours away from kickoff, and want to get you ready for today's show. So I hope you enjoy it. And as always, I ask you to hit that subscribe button if you have not already done so. Help us continue to grow, help us continue to have more players on this show by you doing that. And if you already have subscribed, then, hit that like button and also hit that bell notification button so that you can come on and make sure to join us for these live interactive shows. So hopefully things will go well today. I will admit I'm getting older now, so my get up at 4 o'clock in the morning from Charlotte and take a cross-country flight to Seattle, Washington just may not happen that much anymore in the future. But also, if my lady is watching, Mrs. Jenkins, want to say hello, miss you, and as well as the kids, and we'll be back in the morning. So let's go ahead and get underway. I see a few people that have joined in already. So as always, let's give those shout-outs to JD864, says keep pounding, Chris, will do. Warner Galloway says go Panthers. And then, of course, my man Shaquid says hi, Chris. It should be a very good game. He's giving a score prediction, Carolina Panthers 27-24. So he's giving us the victory today, and it would be great to have a victory today. I got a few more, so I'm gonna go through all these, and we're gonna get into the show here in just a second. Trina Pratt, what's going on with you? Appreciate you joining the show this morning. Let's see. Oh, look at this. My mom, all the way in the Northeast. What's up, Mom? Thank you for tuning in. And then there's the wife, looking sharp. I try. All right, so there's more comments coming. Again, the format of the show is continue to leave your comments. I'm going to go through some information, get you ready for today's game, and then after the information I'm sharing with you so that you can watch the game and be in the loop and know everything, is then I'm going to go ahead and take you guys' questions, see what you all want to talk about for this matchup today in Seattle. So let's go ahead and get through today's show. All right, starting off with the transactions that have taken place recently. We activated defensive end Henry Anderson. Now, Henry Anderson was the guy that we picked up this year, and he played through about 6 games, and then he's been out for about 6 weeks. And nobody really ever knew while that he was out, and it turns out that he had a stroke, and so he was back at practice this week. Excuse me for a second. So he was back at practice this week, did well enough in practice where they activated Henry Anderson. So he's a pretty good run stopper that to be playing the complementing of Brian Burns. He'll probably also rotate with Yetur and Marquise, but nevertheless, he was activated, and we had to make a corresponding move with his activation, and that was waiving cornerback Tay Hayes. So again, those 2 transactions, activating Henry Anderson and then waiving cornerback Tay Hayes. All right, so matchup today, Carolina Panthers and Seattle Seahawks. The Panthers are now 4-8 after their victory over the Denver Broncos a few weeks ago. They had a bye most recently. Again, they are 4-8. Taking on the Seattle Seahawks, which are currently 7-5. I know most of us just got through watching the Rams take on the Raiders, but most recently the Rams lost to the Seattle Seahawks. Final score in that game was 27-23. And I'm going to be drinking a lot of water during this show because, again, some jet lag and some things going on. I need to stay hydrated to make it through this show. So these 2 teams, the Seahawks and the Panthers, though it seems like they played a lot, they really haven't. And I guess for those of you that are recent fans, when we were trying to get over the hump in the NFC South and make it to the Super Bowl, it seemed like we always had to go through Seattle. And the last time that we went through Seattle in 2015, the season that I hope, that's the last season that we all talk about because that was the last great season. I hope there's, some newer seasons that we get to talk about. But in that 2015 season, we crossed the hump. We beat these guys. Cam Newton connected to a pass to Greg Olsen in the final seconds. I think it was like under 30 seconds to go. And we were able to beat the Seahawks and continue chucking into a Super Bowl appearance that year. But overall, these two teams have played each other 15 times. And of those 15 times, the Seahawks lead 10-4. So they have a pretty good lead, 10-4. That doesn't match up to being 15 times. This will be the 15th time they have played each other 14 times. Seahawks lead 10-4. And 5 of the 6 times that they play here in Seattle, Seattle wins. So keep that in mind as you watch today's game, but we're going to be cheering for the Panthers. And then let's talk about who are you predicting to win this game today. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people that are picking the Carolina Panthers. As you see here in this graphic, most people, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 national media outlets are picking the Seattle Seahawks to win this game today. Let me know what your prediction is for this game today. And I can't be mad at people picking the Seattle Seahawks. They had the famous 12th man. I got my chance. This is my first time here at the stadium. Was walking through the suite levels, and they had a game ball. I forget what year it was. Giving that game ball to the 12th man because in one season they had 11 false starts they were able to generate because of the crowd noise that you're going to get here in Seattle. So let's go ahead and continue to work through these things today. Like to call this segment the interesting facts. Again, getting you ready to watch this game with friends and family today. And now you're gonna, anytime you tune into this show, you're gonna be the expert to let people know what's going on with this game today. So last week, J.J. Jansen tied John Casey's record for most games played as a Carolina Panther. Today, he is gonna surpass that. He will now be at 222 games that he has played with the Carolina Panthers. Deontay Foreman, he's going to be our key today. Every time that Deontay gets over 100 yards, we have a pretty good chance of winning the game. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in 1 second. Foreman has rushed for 526 yards so far this season. That's fourth most in the NFL. And he has an impressive 4.6 yards per carry as he gets those 526 yards. Here's another good one for you. He has 423 yards after contact. Good enough for third in the league. That's impressive. 423 yards after contact is third most in the league. So Deontay Foreman. Sam Darnold's going to be our quarterback today, hoping to get his second victory starting. Sam Darnold, interesting fact about him, he has 6 rushing TDs for the Carolina Panthers since joining the team. He's tied for the most in that category. Chuba Hubbard is the person that he's tied with. And among quarterbacks, again, since he's been with the Carolina Panthers last year, he's tied for 6. Hold on, did I read that right? He is 6th among quarterbacks in the NFL with rushing TDs. So, again, Sam Darnold, 6 rushing TDs since joining the team last year. That's good for 6th place overall in the league, and he leads the team in that. That rushing TD last year was probably his most entertaining as he rolled into the end zone to get that touchdown. Brian Burns, he's having a pretty good season. He has now gotten into double digits for the first time in his career in sacks. Again, Brian Burns is now in double digits for sacks this year. First time that he's been able to do so. Coming off an NFC Defensive Player of the Week in Week 12. Again, we had that bye week in Week 13. This is Week 14. Defensive end Brian Burns, NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And his 10 sacks that he has currently, good for 5th in the NFL. Last but not least, DJ Moore picked it up with the return of Sam Darnold. He had a 100-yard game last week. And of one of those catches that he had a 52-yarder. And did you know DJ Moore has 12 career receptions with over 50 yards, and he leads the league since he entered the league in 2018 with those 50-yard receptions. So those are some interesting facts to get you ready for today's game. Again, let me get my drink of water. I'm also going to check on the comments really quickly, see how we're doing with the comments. All right, so we got some good comments coming, and I promise I am going to get to these comments. Lots of good things, so I appreciate it. And again, I'm going to get to those comments in just a second. Now by the way, I'm missing you, Andre. I don't know if you're still tuning in, but normally I get to go through this with my man, Andre, and as he talks, it gives me a chance to catch my breath. And it's been a while since I've done the pregame show by myself. So Andre, if you're watching, I miss you. Look forward to returning back to Charlotte next week, where you join me for the pregame show, as well as Panther Nation podcast as a part of our pregame show when we do it live in Charlotte. But current top 10 rankings. Now, we still do not have any top 10 rankings on the offensive side or the defensive side, but Coach Steve Wilks is certainly making his case for saying, hey, I need to be the coach of this team next year because they're improving. So again, no top 10 rankings on the offensive side, but they do have some improvements that they are making, which is on the offensive side, sacks allowed. We are now nearly within a top 10 ranking on sacks allowed, and that's pretty good. I just got distracted from telling some people that they could walk by, so let me make sure I look at my notes properly. So for the sacks allowed, we are now tied at 11th with 26. So tied at 11th with sacks allowed on the offensive side. And that's also a reflection of this offensive line, continue to get some reps together. You know, you got Akeem Ekwonu that had a strength as a run protector. He is now looking very solid also as a pass protector. And again, we're not top 10 yet, but we've moved up to being in the 11th spot for sacks allowed. And then on the defensive side, still not a top 10 ranking on the defensive side, but moving up very significantly in 2 categories. So those categories are passing net yards and points allowed per game. Passing net yards and points allowed per game, we have now moved up to 14th. Previously, we had rankings about 17th, 18th, and it was in 1 category. But now we're 2 categories that we've moved up. So that's pretty good. Again, interim head coach Steve Wilks may be trying to get that interim tag removed in next year as long as he keeps moving these categories up, get some victories. And we're also going to talk about where we currently stand within the NFC South here in just a couple of seconds. And then we have the things to watch that are going to be for – how you doing, sir? Pretty good. So I didn't want to break my broadcast, but there we was breaking the broadcast. David Tepper walks by, and I only see that on Charlotte Vibe, where you see Mr. Tepper get a chance to walk by. Notable connections. Andre, again, miss you because you normally do this notable connections. And we don't have, actually we do have quite a few guys that played for the Washington college, played for Washington teams on the college level. Quite a few guys, but I'm going to just talk about the professional connections here. Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle Miles Adams spent some time with the Panthers practice squad in 2020. He's now with the Seahawks again. Defensive tackle Miles Adams spent some time on the Panthers practice squad in 2020. And as well as Seattle Seahawks linebacker Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin played for the Panthers in 2019. So those are your pro connections for the Seattle Seahawks. We don't have any former Seahawks that are on the Carolina Panthers at this time. And now continue to move on, things to watch. Again, I'm pretty tickled there that David Tepper and Nicole Tepper just walked by, and they didn't mind getting on the broadcast. So maybe next time I'll invite him to come on and say a few things. But nevertheless, things to watch for this matchup today. All right, Deontay Foreman, he's certainly a key for this Carolina Panthers team and his rushing attack. Again, he's had 4 times that he has rushed over 100 yards. 3 of those 4 times in which he does so, it bodes very well for the Carolina Panthers. We win the game. So, moving on, DJ Moore did a great job last week getting over the 100 yards, getting back on track, getting that catch that was over 50 yards. And now he's going to be tested. He has Tariq Woolen that's going to be matched up on him today. Tariq leads the league in interceptions I think he has 6 that he's made. So you got to expect that Sam Darnold, again, his job is to just maintain the offense. Just keep the ship going, let Deontay Foreman pound and ground and have some time control. You got to understand that he should be looking to say, all right, DJ, I love you, but I gotta play safe. He didn't have any interceptions last week. We want to keep that going. So look for him to be careful in the attempts that he makes towards DJ Moore. And then on our side, for our defense, we're going to have to be watching out for these wide receivers. We have a pair of pretty good wide receivers that we're going against today, and DK Metcalf as well as Tyler Lockett, all right? Both of these guys, Metcalf and Lockett, had over 100 yards receiving last week against the Rams. We got a matchup, and today, you know, we haven't talked about the absence of Dante Jackson, but you got to think about him just a little bit today because we have 2 good wide receivers that we're going against. J.C. Horn on his side has been representing pretty well. I don't know if this guy's getting all the credit that he deserves in this league for how well he is doing in containing top talent, top wide receivers on the other team, but he's doing a great job. On the other side, you got C.J. Henderson, who has been struggling. Even though he's had some moments where he's done well, he's been struggling all season. And as a matter of fact, his passer rating is almost twice, in terms of how he locks down the receiver and the quarterback, is almost twice as high as that of J.C. Horn. So that's a matchup that could give us problems today, especially with a good quarterback like Geno Smith that has been having an outstanding resurrection of his career. Geno Smith, through the first 12 games, is playing like no other quarterback in NFL history. Let me see if I can get this to you correctly. Geno Smith currently has the longest streak of any quarterback completing at least 60% of his passes while posting a passer rating of 80 or better. He's done 11 straight games, which stands as the second longest streak in NFL history. And I'll give you a moment to try to guess. And it's going to be a quick moment because it's cold out here. A quick moment to guess who's been longer. It's 2 guys. Only Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning have had more than that. All right, so that's my pregame show, getting you ready. Let me see if these inactives are out. And if they are, I'm going to share that with you. And then we'll go over the rest. I don't see that the inactives are out yet. I think they're probably doing the next 15 minutes. Let me just double check, and then we're going to get into these comments. All right, so I do not see that the inactives are out yet. So you know what it's time to do? It's time to get into the comments. I got to get one more drink of water here before I get into these comments. So pardon me 1 second. All right, I'm almost back. All right. Want to put my glove? All right, so here we go. I'm back. I had to get some more water there. All right, so let's get into these comments. T. Thompson says, keep pounding. All right, keep pounding. Hopefully we got good stuff talking. Here's my co-host, Andre Cassidy. Let's get a victory today, fellas. Yes, let's get a victory. That'd be good to get a victory today with all the traveling that I have had to do. And I'm not the only one. Excuse me. Forgot to hit my mute button. Terrence Tate says, you are blessed, Chris. I am very blessed, very appreciative. Spiritual man myself, blessed to be here, blessed to be covering the Carolina Panthers for you guys, and blessed that I found some shelter so I'm not out in the elements. You guys can't see it, but I got some shelter that's helping me out, and I am happy about that. So, let's see, is Corey Littleton feeling better? I'm going to get to that updates here in a little bit. Today feels like old Panther playoff game. So Coach Wilkes talked about that this week. He talked about the playoff mentality that he's trying to get these guys to get into. Talked about coming here to play in Seattle with their 12th man is also a good test for that playoff mentality and getting there. Why? Because when you come here, and this is my first time being here, I'm excited to be here. The 12th man, these guys have a raucous crowd. I mean, I think it was when Marshawn Lynch was playing, he had this run where the ground was shaking, that this place was jumping so much and cheering on this team. So it's also important for this team, for the Carolina Panthers, to have an opportunity to continue to advance in their playoff standings. Now, I know some people may say, man, playoffs, but we do have a chance. I'm going to show you this graphic here of the Carolina Panthers. And this was, as of yesterday, the Carolina Panthers are in third place in the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons have a bye week this week, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are sitting there atop at 6-6, and they will be playing today. They played on Monday night. So you win this game here today, you go to 5-8. You're still, of course, depending on what Tampa Bay does, just a game out. And we played Tampa Bay the last game of the season. So as long as we continue to win, we have an extremely legitimate chance. We control our own destiny. I don't know if that's 100% if we went outright, but I think it would be. Why would it not be? But it sets us up. So today is certainly a playoff-type feel for the Carolina Panthers. Coach Wilkes isn't willing to call it a must-win because he says, each and every week we're trying to win a game. So I don't want to say like last week wasn't a must-win, but appreciate the comment there, Shaquid. Terrence Ingram, what's up, Chris? Appreciate the coverage. Let's go get this win, keep pounding. Hey, you guys, always talk about it. We're independent media, supported 100% by you guys. So anytime that you have the chance to do a super chat to help us continue to do what we do, go ahead and do so. Whether it's $1, we don't care the amount. It really helps to continue to operate this company as I have been operating for many, many years, since 2006. I think it's when our launch day might have been 2005, but it's been a long time. And we need your support, so I appreciate everybody's positive comments. And hey, in lieu of the monetary things, you can always, again, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Very much appreciate it when you get a chance to do that. Trina wanted to ask me what is my prediction. Sorry, I don't do the predictions, but I just share all the information so you can have a pretty good idea of what you want to predict for today's game. Carolina needs to win. Tampa Bay needs to lose, says Noah. Very true, very true. Oh man, somebody's feeling it. The real Zero Chill says Seattle 0, Carolina 42. Now, if that takes place, that would be extremely amazing. Shanika says Panthers by 3. Terrence says Panthers by 10. Josh says, I hope we can pull off the upset. So in terms of pulling off the upset, what's going to be the key to doing that for us, right? So I touched on it earlier. Deontay Foreman being able to run the ball. And, he has a legitimate chance at doing that because the Seattle Seahawks are not the best at stopping the run. But where this game where we really need to do good today, on the defensive side. That's really going to be the tricky part because, again, Metcalf and Lockett, really two good wide receivers. They both had over 100 yards receiving last year. And Coach Wilkes says this, he knows that the easiest way to get ahead and pile it on is through a passing attack. It's also the easiest way to lose control over a game is with the passing attack. Anyway, I go to say that to say we got to contain Geno Smith. And it's going to be tough because we love to put pressure on the quarterback by bringing an extra man to get that pressure. Geno Smith does pretty good when you put that extra man out there to get pressure. So we today really have to – I know we're still going to send that extra man to get some pressure on him, but we also have to do good at succeeding and getting pressure with him without sending the extra man because we need to have that other guy back in coverage. Sorry, it's cold, but we need to have that other guy back in coverage to help with Metcalf, to help with Lockett. And again, considering the fact that C.J. Henderson playing opposite likely of J.C. Horn is half as good as J.C. Horn is, and you only got one guy that's really good, that could give us trouble. And if this game gets away from us, if Seattle comes out quickly, which I feel like they have a legitimate chance to, then that's where we're going to run into problems. So in terms of my prediction, I don't do them, but that's really containing Geno Smith is really going to be very, very critical today for us to have that chance of the upset. We are the most dangerous team in the NFC, below 500 that no one talked about outside of Carolina. Time to make a statement today. All right, some more predictions. JD864 predicts 27-13. Let's see, Justin Carpenter. There's a lot of people bet on the Panthers, 5-1 against the spread last 6 games, but I think the Panthers win by 10. Noah 2023 says Madden picks Carolina to win on some simulation. So it is certainly possible. It's certainly possible that we could win, but it's going to be on the ability to contain Geno Smith as well as Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Now, their run game isn't too strong, so I don't feel like that could be a place that they get us. It's going to be that passing game. That's what I'm most concerned about today for the Carolina Panthers, because we could run the ball and we can have some control, but if they, if they're just running it up on us passing, we're going to have to. The Carolina Panthers are going to have to get more involved in the run game. In the passing game. I'm freezing you guys. D-Ray says, let's go Carolina. Let's get a win today. Oh, Justin Carver. Baker sure showed out in that Rams-Raiders game. Yeah, and I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I don't have it loaded up, but Baker Mayfield did excellent. I mean, I don't think anybody could have expected that guy to do that good out in L.A. just after, 2 days of being with the team. Great for him. Congratulations to him. I hope he continues to succeed, but at that level that you saw this past Thursday night, I think personally that's a little bit of fortune that he was able to do something like that, but I'm not wishing Baker anything bad. I hope Baker continues to succeed out there in L.A., but I also don't think that what Baker did out in L.A. was any type of indication about coaching in Carolina and Ben McAdoo not giving him the opportunity to succeed. I don't think any of that has anything to do with it. I think that guy was just excited. I think he was laser focused, and he had a new environment to do it in, being out in L.A., doing it in prime time, and he succeeded. He succeeded very well. So, and I touched on it earlier with some stats about Steve Wilks. As each week I talk about the top 10 offensive rankings, top 10 defensive rankings, and he's improving in those areas. So appreciate the comment there, Justin. Appreciate the comment. D-Ray says Burns getting another one today on the rookie. Let's see, going through some more of these comments. We still got the Lions left. They playing good ball lately, and Pickett might not be playing next week. He's in the concussion protocol. So I guess this is Justin just talking a little bit about our playoff chances. So our next game is against Pittsburgh and then the Lions. So in terms of any injuries that the Lions are dealing with right now and watching out for that team, they got some time to get better. They got some time to heal. So again, I'm with Coach Wilks. Playoff picture is certainly a possibility, but today I'm focusing on the Seattle Seahawks, us getting this victory today. It would be an upset, but it's an upset that we need. It's an upset that we need, and I think if we get the upset today, I might need to go to the chiropractor when I get back to Charlotte. If we get this upset today against the Seattle Seahawks, then that puts us in a very good opportunity for these guys like Shaq Thompson, and I know we don't have too many guys from the times that the Panthers were good, but I think it would, especially with Wilks being previously on the team, that gives them some more motivation. See, guys, I told you. Wilks, in terms of leading his team to some more victories. See, guys, I told you. We lock in, we execute, we have good plans. We can be a football team that can win this NFC South, and I think today will be an excellent opportunity for us to have that momentum continue to push. Let's see. Continue to go through some of these comments here. Let me see if I can go over the inactives. I'm gonna confess I'm freezing and may not be able to go another full 30 minutes, but let me see if I can give you this inactive list so far. I need to wear long johns. All righty, so I'm gonna say this. Every time that I get an inactive and there's some surprises on there, since Wilkes has been coaching this team, I've actually been surprised at how well we've done with some inactives. So Xavier Woods is going to be inactive today. And I'm gonna just see if I can take a peek out here on this field. I cannot show you any of this game at time action at all, but it is just a few players that are out, mostly just seeing some guys, the special teams, kick some field goals. But with Xavier Woods being out of this game today, that is a, in my opinion, uphill battle for us, because I'd already said DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. We have one good, I don't say one good quarterback, but we have a pretty big disparity between J.C. Horn and C.J. Henderson, believing that we can't send that fifth guy all the time because we need to drop back in coverage, where Xavier Woods is going to be inactive. And without him, they're likely going to start Miles Hartfield, and of course Jeremy Chin is going to be back there as well. Wide receiver Rashard Higgins, he's inactive. That's not surprising. Higgins really has not got into a groove ever since he's come to the Carolina Panthers. Defensive tackle Davion Nixon, he's going to be out today, as well as linebacker Corey Littleton. Somebody asked me earlier about how Littleton was feeling. Littleton is not going to make it today. And then offensive tackle Larnell Coleman, he's going to be out today. So again, Xavier Woods, Rashard Higgins, Davion Nixon, Corey Littleton, and Larnell Coleman, those are your inactives for today versus the Seattle Seahawks. And man, I don't like that Xavier Woods being out. But there you go. All right, let's go through a few more of these comments here today. And then your boy got to get inside because it's cold. By the way, again, hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. That helps us continue to have players on the show, which we do quite a bit. Just if you haven't seen any of those interviews recently, just click on the YouTube link, and we have a playlist, one-on-one interviews. And most recently, we had Terrace Marshall. We've had Steve Smith on this year. We're going to get all the rookies on the show this year before the season ends, as well as some other guys. So subscribe, help us continue to do what you love us to do and what we love doing, bring you the coverage of these Carolina Panthers in just a little different way than most people do. Let's see. You, Chris, fans or members of the media. So the people that are walking behind me, with the exception of David Tepper that walked by earlier, are fans of the game. That's not members of the media. Let's see. What's going on, Rodney? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Supernova, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in as well. Some more compliments about the coverage. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. D-Ray says, gonna be fun to see JC versus a top wide receiver like Metcalf. And it will, but that's not my concern. My concern is Tyler Lockett and C.J. Henderson locking him down, and Miles Hartfield coming in for Xavier Woods. So, man, I don't like that, but it is what it is. By the way, once the game starts and once I sign off here, we're going to go into the press box. The best way to keep up with me during the game will be Twitter, all right? Twitter will be the best way to keep up, and I'll be providing you game updates, injury reports, and things like that that you might not necessarily get from watching the broadcast on TV. And then let's see. Still sounds funny to say Geno Smith a good quarterback. That is from Geno. I'm telling you, I read the stat earlier, man. He 11 straight games, 60% completion rating or better, 80 passer rating or better. Got these Seattle Seahawks at 7-5. Just got coming off a victory against the LA Rams. They're playing at home today. This is going to be a tough game. Absolutely going to be a tough game. Let's see. Just zooming through some more of these comments. What's up, Ali Bodrick? Appreciate you tuning in as well. Let's see, Bucks play 49ers and Bengals. Again, some more talk about the playoff chances. So let me just verify who the Bucks are playing. I know they are playing today. Give me just a second. I'm going to have their schedule come up. Yeah, so today the Bucks are going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers at 1:25 Pacific time, 4:25 Eastern time. A game that I'm going to say the 6-6 Bucks have a pretty fair chance to lose. So, nevertheless, that's who the Bucks play next. And then their remaining schedule is the Bengals, the Cardinals. Let's see, I lost my spot here. The Bengals, the Cardinals, the Panthers, and the Falcons. So those are the Bucks' remaining games. Trina Pratt says she loves the show. Appreciate it. Sammy D is taking us to the playoffs. Let's go. Man, I got this kink in my neck, you guys, that is killing me. Woo! But, P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold are going to be our quarterbacks that we're going to rock out with through the end of the season. Sam Darnold does have a pretty good line around him that he hadn't had in some time with these guys doing so well, keeping them clean. Again, I read a stat earlier that we now have moved up to 11th offensively in sacks that we have allowed, meaning we're not allowing too many sacks. Another way to say that. And Sam Darnold does play pretty respectively as long as he has some good protection, as long as things are under control, as long as the line game isn't requiring him to throw the ball a lot. I do like Steve Wilkes' game plan with saying, he always says it starts up front. It starts up front with the line. And hey, if you have a good line that can give you some protection, that can open up holes for your running back, that does not require your quarterback to be the hero. So for that, I haven't been the biggest fan of Sam, but I'm just going to tell you like it is. He does give us a chance to win, and he could be the guy that's going to lead us because he's currently the guy that's in that position right now. Appreciate the comment, Andrew. Okay. Chop Mop Tactical says Carolina defense goes Golden Sacks, Pick City, 23-17. I do like that as a possibility, right? If we get some interceptions from Geno, that does give us a chance to turn the field, ground and pound with Deontay Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, take our time, eat up the clock. That has to be a key for us today, getting some turnovers. If we get some turnovers, then we have an opportunity. Let's see. And T. Thompson, Panthers, actives. Okay, that's a little bit old because I went through them. Shindrick Burgess says, honestly, I can't put the entire blame on our quarterback play. Our O-line needs to play meaner and more aggressive. I think our O-line has been pretty good. The reason that you're able, to put so much on the quarterback is, number one, in the NFL, it can start and end with your quarterback. Having a franchise quarterback could mean a lot for your team. And quarterback play, when you start turning over the ball, which has been our problem with quarterback play, then you're keeping your defense out on the field a lot. Keeping your defense out on the field a lot, they can get worn down, not play as good, and now you're behind. You're behind with a quarterback that doesn't throw the ball well, and it just rolls. It just gets bigger and bigger of a problem. So as the NFL, it does start and end with the quarterback. Our O-line has been good. That's why you see Deontay Foreman getting the yardage that he's been getting 526 yards he's gotten. Very good, very good. And he's a great runner, Deontay Foreman, after initial contact as well. Doing very good in that area. Let's see what else. I love all the comments that I'm getting today. Has definitely helped me with staying out here a little bit longer than I thought I would because of the cold. And we got some great Seahawks decorations that are about to go by behind me here. There you go. Got some people waving. They're allowed to wave. How you guys doing? Lonnie Williams says, let's go Panthers. See, I got it up there. And nice little, let's see. This offense looks so much better with Sam at the helm, and we played the best defense the NFL has to offer. I'm pumped to see what this game has to offer today. Appreciate it. And then Richard Hensman saying, have a great time at the game, Chris. You earned it. Keep pounding. All righty. I made it. Now to find out where the press box is, let me tell you, I love to report and I love to just say I'm a human. I'm privileged and blessed to have a media company that has credentials to cover this team. It's been a journey coming out here to Seattle. It's been cool to see Seattle as well. But now, once I'm done here, I've never been to this stadium before. Now it's the task of finding where exactly is the media press box. Hopefully that won't be too bad. I'll be able to find it quickly. And you guys will join me again on Twitter during the game. Post-game, I will be somewhere, again, going live, telling you about this game, wrapping it up. I am honestly going to try to find a place indoors post-game. So wish me luck, all right? Hit that subscribe button, please. Please pound it away. Hit that subscribe button. It helps me to continue to grow this channel, continue to do great things with players that I know you all enjoy. And you know what? When I go live with players, I'll let you all have access to asking them questions too. I don't just keep them to myself. So it's not another media outlet that goes live and does the things that we do here at Charlotte Vibe. So I hope I've earned your subscription. Hit that like button and tell a friend about it, right? So reporting live in Seattle, Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe.